or make you laugh, make you cry like ain't life funny. Ugh.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude.
It looked like they actually they slightly brightened the Batcave camera just a little bit.
Okay,
So
I mean, I can see your face now.
you can almost see who's here. Hilarious. But yeah, dude, I don't know what we're gonna talk about today. I guess you already started recording, so
Yeah, I figure we're gonna talk about football. We'll talk about that after. I'm gonna make this a short one, but I do because we're right on it. I like by the time this is out, right, the election will have occurred, right?
okay.
Basically, like we're not gonna get another episode out before this comes out. So
So we can definitely talk about that.
We definitely need to just say, I think we both know who we're going to vote for. Like, I think that's pretty obvious through, if you look at our channel at all, or look at any of the art, or listen to 5 minutes of any of the podcasts we've done. But I think what we ought to do is say what we think is going to happen. Because what's wild is, I think you ask 5 people, you might get 5 different answers depending where you're at. But for me, I'm gonna stick with what I said. First of all,
let's intro the show first.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, probably should do that. What's up, everybody? Episode 29. Ain't like funny, Aaron. Sorry, we didn't get the intro done, but say what's up.
You know, just trying to be the good host that I am to the people. You know what I mean? I don't want them to feel cheated, so just trying to keep your disorganization together here. You know what I mean? Let me stop playing. Matt is the executive producer of the show, everybody, so he's quite organized.
First of all, fuck you for the bullshit comment that you just made, but you know what? I'll take it. You're right. It's a constructive criticism. We should be more organized. But anyway, welcome to episode 29.
What up, everybody?
We're coming in hot. We gotta get this out.
Well, we were discussing topics. You guys caught some of the pre-show plan there, and one of the topics you already know is about to be salty time because it's fucking football. So maybe we should get that out the way. Now,
I figure we'll start like even politics is more positive than the Dallas Cowboys. So
exactly.
Let's start with that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Well, at this point, man, like it's just total chaos. Seems like I just saw something that said they traded the guy that they brought in this year. So we had brought in this guy Griffin from the Vikings, and then they just traded him to the Lions because it's just like, why not? You know, like we're just doing stuff anyways. But I mean, he wasn't playing that great. He was all right, but you know, it just goes to show once again we're just lost. And now the whole team's turning on Mike McCarthy and on the defensive coordinator. And this morning,
they heard you, dude. You did.
Well, get this.
You're responsible, dude.
Oh, get this. They are so crappy now. They were trying to like put that dude, the defensive coordinator, Mike Nolan, on the spot, and was like they had him on a Zoom call, like all his reporters and shit. So I saw it on Undisputed. He's talking to the guys on the Zoom call, and he was eating food, I guess, before that, and he rubs his eye, and he gets, like, hot sauce in his eye. And he's like, oh, dang, y'all, I just rubbed my eye. I got Tabasco on my finger. Like, oh, man, like, I'm at to get off this Zoom meeting. I feel like that was awesome.
That's a good plan, Mike.
Bro. Strategic pull. He pulled the ripcord so quick. Like, they literally were like, hey, Mike, so, yeah, we just wanted to ask you about the defense. Like, oh, yeah, guys, oh, damn, my eye. My eye.
Like that is Always Sunny where Dennis blows chili powder in Dee's eye right before he has to give that speech. They're like, listen, Mike, I mean, you can go out there just straight up naked if you want, but you might want to shed a tear real quick.
Well, bro, it definitely worked because he got out of there. But I think he knew he's about to be on the hot seat and was like, I have no answers for any of these questions. The team sucks. I suck. It is what it is. Like, you can't go out there and say that.
What, as a coach on that team at all, or even as a player at this point, you got nothing.
You're giving up.
What tape are you going to show? Like, this is me doing well. It's like there's nothing.
Right.
There's
that's
no
the thing. Like,
tape.
Nobody has any good tape out. Like, they literally have all quit, dude. Like, the coach down the line, dude. Like, I think it's just like, to me, the problem that really happened is Mike McCarthy came in there and just yes-manned everything. Like, he literally looks like you could just bring him anything. Like, you ever, like, when you were a kid, try to be sneaky with your parents and, like, they're not paying attention, like, especially, like, your dad, and you just be like, hey, Dad, can I go outside real quick? And, like, you about to go out there and, like, shoot a paintball gun or something, but, you know, it's your dad. He's not about to ask you all that. He's like, what's your mom say? Like, she said, yeah. You know what I mean? And then you just run out the door, you know what I mean, and get your dad in trouble. Like, that's what Mike McCarthy is. He's just like the dad that you just bring anything. It's like, hey, Jerry Jones, like, I think next week we're going to have, like, 3 Dolphins do a backflip at halftime show, man. We will actually let the Dolphins start because, you know, Dalton's hurt, so we're just going to put in a Dolphin. It's like, yeah, okay, I can make that work. Like, I just think McCarthy's just down with anything, you know what I mean? Like, that's why the team doesn't respect him, though. You know what I mean? Because it's like they can see it's like you're just taking a check, dude. Like, you're not even – I don't know, bro. Like, at this point, the players suck, too, because, like, they quit in, like, the second quarter, dude. Like, I watched that whole game because I was really like, let's see if they show some pride and try to beat the Reds.
I just realized something. We're so unorganized. This is going to be the NFL portion of the show. This is not the politics portion of the show.
Oh, yeah. I thought we already were clear about that.
I think we said the other way. But anyway, we'll play the bumper right now, a little late. And bam. So I agree with what you said, first of all. That at this point, when I watched them play Washington, I was assuming they would put something on the field to like maybe honor Dak Prescott and be like, look, dude, sorry this happened to you. Like something.
For your own self-pride.
But they didn't.
Just as a player.
Like, I mean, I watched the highlights, or whatever you call that, those game recaps they put on YouTube after the game. And I mean, truthfully, there was no good tape. I mean, they had – and, like, what's even crazier is they played so shittily that it's beyond criticizing the team, like, on the TV shows. What I'm hearing most is people pissed that the Cowboys didn't do something, like, aggressive to the guy who knocked Andy Dalton out.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. Like, somebody should have been like, yo, what the fuck?
For sure. Because
even the guy who did it, whatever that dude's name was on the Reds or on the Washington football team's squad that decapitated Dalton, you can tell, like, after it happened, like, once he did it, he was like, oh, shit. Like, he even, like, you could tell he knew he fucked up.
Well,
like, you're that guy from Menace to Society.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Well, what happened, like, because I watched it live. So what happened, if you were really paying attention, right when that happened, Dalton got hurt, and they kind of went directly to commercial, like, because he got laid out and his helmet came off, and, like, he was, like, with his face in the grass, and they were like, oh, this is, you know, that's not good. They're going to have to kick him out the game for that. And, like, the rest, from what I heard, because Skip Bayless, I guess, either saw it or he didn't or whatever, but he was saying that, like, the refs kind of grabbed that dude and kicked him out the game immediately. And all of the Cowboy players went to go look at Dalton and be like, yo, are you okay? But, I mean, I still feel that, like, some random person, like, whoever it was, like Zeke, one of the wide receivers, like, somebody that was away from that.
Alden Smith, you've been arrested for whooping
he was on the bench.
Like, go throw some hands. Like, at least throw, like, a body into the dude.
He was on the bench, but, I mean, like, somebody on offense could have definitely pushed that dude. But they were kind of saying that they got him off the field pretty quick. But to me, at that point, man, it's not even about trying to fight no more. Like, that dude did some just outlandish stuff. And, they were nuts anyways. Like, because that you never do that. Like, he was already sliding on the ground. Like, even like they showed in the replay, like, the guy on his team even was looking like, what are you doing? Like, why did you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just some craziness. But, I mean, in terms of, like, just the team, dude, like I said, they gave up in the second quarter, dog. Like, they were down, like, I think it was like 17 or 20 something to 3 or whatever, and they like almost got a comeback, and then Zeke fumbled that. He got that interception off of him, and after that they just quit. Like, the whole team laid down, bro. And I was just like, yeah, it just is what it is. This ain't the year. They packed it up.
Now is a dude who played at James Madison University. Bro.
I know, bro. It's over.
My dad was like, That's crazy. He played here and like he wasn't that
It's
great
over.
here, and it's like
It's
that
over.
Cowboys now. Whenever Dalton got speared like that, that dude just it's like
Swallowed his nuts in his throat, like you know what I'm saying? Like, oh God, I gotta go out there. Because dude, like that's the thing, man. Like the line is just bad. Like everybody keeps trying to point fingers,
dude. You gotta. But the thing of it is, it's like as a quarterback or any one position on the team, everyone else is playing like dog shit. There's no one there that could be like, you gotta pick it up because who is that guy?
Well, you know the real truth of this all is? The real truth of this all, and I'm going to say it, you've already heard me say this many times before since you've known me. The problem is Jerry Jones, dude. Well, like, you're the general manager. You're supposed to look at the team and build it, not just for this year, but for the next. Like, he invested hundreds of millions of dollars into the offensive line that were off their prime, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, if you know they're getting up in age and they already got the contracts, what you're supposed to try to do is renegotiate the contract so they get more money up front and less against the cap, and then you can bring more people in to, like, be backups. You know what I'm saying? You go and get a veteran, or you draft a rookie off, 7th round or whatever. You know what I mean? And, like, to their credit, they try to draft rookies, but they're not good at evaluating late-round talent. Because, like, none of our late-round people have played football. Only the latest round person we got that's really been good is Dak. And they don't want to give him his money because it's a late-round talent. You know what I'm saying? So that's just all GM shit, dude. Like, the team we have, really, the good team that we had that Jason Garrett got was built by Wade Phillips. Like, nobody wants to talk about that. Since the time that Garrett was there, he didn't really bring in a lot of great talent. Like, all the people that we got that were, like, really shining people are still on our team from the Wade Phillips era, bro. And then before that, it was Bill Parcells. I'm just a real fan. Like, I've seen the team over the years, and it's like, who is the star guy? Like, we'll get a good guy every once in a while. That's, like I said, like a stud anyways. Like, just a dude that was, like, a shining star in college, and it's like he was a kind of the can't-miss dude. But then when you have to, like, get, like, those, we need, like, a guy that can be this, but he can develop into that. They can't find that guy, no matter what position it is. So, because, like I said, that's all general manager shit, though. Like, and I think it's because Jerry Jones don't got to answer to nobody. When you're a GM and you got an owner. Yeah, what you about to say?
I just feel like with your team, it's almost like a replay of what happened to the Raiders, where you have this owner who's like, at one point, what he did created success.
Right.
But it was ultimately like that was a bad thing because that gave that dude credibility. And like in your case, the guy seems to think that he in some way has his finger on the pulse of like what actually is good in terms of like a football team. He's a great businessman. He took a team, he bought a team, and he took it from whatever it was when he bought it. And they're like, the most lucrative and like worth the most of all NFL teams. That's great.
Of all teams in the country, dude. They're worth more than the Yankees. Like, that's what's crazy about them. You know,
great. You're great at that, but that doesn't make you a coach, or that doesn't give you a good football mind. You might have had guys who you employed who knew good football, like you said, Jimmy Johnson or whoever the GMs were of that era that picked the talent.
No, Jimmy Johnson was the coach that picked the talent, but then everybody said it was Jimmy's team, so that's why he got rid of Jimmy. Yeah. And then he, of his own pride, tried to do it on his own.
Like, it seems like he was like a guy who was on like the shoulder of a giant who was making all the calls, but he in some way was like, yeah, well, that guy did it because I hired him, so I guess I know football. So now he's because he got that success and he is the guy who owns the team, he can inject his opinion where, like my team, the Steelers. Their owners never change. It's been a family-run company or whatever you want to call it. You don't hear about the Rooneys like, you need to get this guy. They hire guys, and they just have
what's crazy about the Rooneys? They stick with coaches for so long and are happy to do it.
But look what happens. Look what it does.
But I was about to say, they're totally happy to do it, and at no point do they ever want to outshine what the team is doing. Like, that's the problem. Like, Jerry wants to get the accolades as if he's playing the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, regardless of who you get on the team, who's playing, they're never going to say, oh, that guy won because of Jerry Jones. That's not going to ever be the answer. Unless maybe you built, like, a great team around him with a bunch of talent that, like, you put together a dream team of, like, the Warriors or something, like the Golden State Warriors on the football field. If you do that, maybe people will give you credit. But at no point are people going to be like, he threw that touchdown because of you, Jerry. Like, That's not how the fucking shit works. But
Well, and
Jerry
I
wants to
think
be
that's
in
why
the
I said
spotlight.
that. That's why I said that though about like the Raiders and Al Davis. Like he got that success, but then you see what happened to that team for so long. Like they just took a fat shit because his crazy ass was like, "You got to do this. Like I know football, run it this way." And nobody wants to work with that guy except a dude like Mike McCarthy, who is just a
He's a yes
man.
man,
You know,
bro. They
he's
said
that
Al
guy.
Davis. They
He
said Al
doesn't have
Davis
an opinion.
used to call down to the field and be like, throw it deep and make the coach call a bomb play, bro. Like I forgot who it was who said it was. I think it was Warren Sapp said he was on the bench and he saw the phone ring and somebody went and answered. He said one of the other players looked over at him and said, "Hey, they about to throw it deep." And he said, "What?" He said, "Yeah,
That's
man, watch this. They about to throw a
crazy.
bomb." And then he said that they did it, and he looked over at the some other guy he used to play with. He said, "Yo, dude, why you didn't tell me it was this bad over here?" He's like, "Man, you just got paid a fucking $90 million check. Like, what's up? Like, it don't matter. We just getting paid." Like, I was like, that is crazy. But yeah, dude, like that's Jerry Jones is one step below that. So that's really, if you want to point fingers, that's where they need to be pointed at. Because like to me, I've seen that our linebacking play sucked for a long time. Our defense has been trash for a long time, bro. And it's like now that they're actually calling on the defense to be the best part of the team because the offense fell apart, it's impossible. They were always the weak link. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you can't make your weak link strong all of a sudden. You have people with 7-year contracts on the defense that you paid. So you have them now. It is what it is. And I mean
they didn't even just get like I get losing to a good team. You guys have lost to a couple of good teams. You know, even teams that I thought were kind of shitty, like the Cardinals, they're actually good teams. But you go in, your division is trash. Everyone in it's complete shit. And I thought, you know what, you guys are in first place. You're losing, but everyone else seems to be just shitty too. Dude, Washington just straight up just even if they didn't do that shit to Andy Dalton, you didn't have a chance. There was nothing happening.
They got on a plane, flew all the way to D.C. in the rain to go and put up 3 points, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Completely dominated in every way by Washington, who is like, they're nothing. That's one of the worst teams in the
They got a backup quarterback in, too. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, who is their quarterback? Who is their quarterback?
Some Josh Allen, I think is his name, or what's his name?
What's that guy on the Bills?
Cal Allen. That's his name, Cal Allen.
Okay.
I think he was the backup in North Carolina when Ron Rivera had Cam Newton. The backup was Cal Allen, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
And then he brought him along when he got to DC. But I mean, let's go Titans. So go ahead. Enough Cowboy talk.
Just to recap, we both picked Washington to win that game. I said 14-10. You said 28-14. And the final score was
I couldn't even get them fools to score a touchdown, dude.
25-3, bro. That's just
to get them to score a touchdown, dude. I knew it was gonna be a blowout. I knew it was gonna be close, dude. I saw Washington's D line. We can't block nobody.
That shit was some trizash. So on to the other game that we called, Pittsburgh versus Tennessee. This was a fucking good ass game, bro. This was a great game against two great teams. Now, you've heard me this whole season. I love the Steelers, but I know the Steelers. And the Steelers almost proved me right in this game by doing some bullshit ass Steelers shit, which is get a huge lead and then somehow figure a way to do everything wrong to the point where you either lose the game or almost lose the game. And they did that. They almost lost this game, but credits, they won. I'm gonna tell you, man. A dub is a dub.
I wouldn't blame that on the Steelers.
I feel like the Titans just showed that they were as good as us, and I think they're actually better than us. Tannenhill just fucked them right at the end. So we beat them.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro.
The score was.
Let me
just get the score out. Let me just get the score out. You can tell me what's up. It was 27-24. I said 28-18. You said 28-17. And you thought the Titans were going to win. I said the Steelers were going to win. So just to recap, I'm actually ahead of you now on the picks, 11-2.
Yeah, I know.
You got 10-3. So how about your boy? I actually am winning now. But I'd love to hear what you thought because you actually like the Titans. I do too. They're a fun team to watch.
This is the thing.
Fuck them.
This is the thing. You can't blame the Steelers for that game because what the Titans did to the Steelers, they literally have done to every team since I've lived in Nashville, dude. Like when I lived out there, like I would always watch games and be like, oh, they playing Kansas City. They about to get blown out. You know what I'm saying? And then last year they beat Kansas City, bro. Like people don't be wanting to remember that, but they actually Kansas City came to Nashville and beat them. But it's like I told you, if they're playing in their stadium, they have a muddy ass field, dude. Like it's notorious for being a sloppy field. So all those fast Tyreek Hill stuff, all that, like it kind of goes out the window, and those guys aren't as quick as they usually are because of that. And then the Titans are used to playing in it, so they kind of get an advantage. Like home field advantage does kind of matter for them. That's why I was asking where they were playing. And the only reason why they really lost, like you said, is because Tannehill made a mistake. And actually, they still almost got to overtime with y'all and would have probably beat y'all in OT.
Oh, they would have
beat us in OT. But
here's one thing you need to know about the
saying?
Steelers. If it goes to OT, the Steelers will lose. A Ben Roethlisberger-led Steelers team will lose in OT.
Well, for sure, they was giving that work, man. Like I had to pick them because I didn't want to keep making the same picks as you, even though I knew the Steelers had a good chance of winning that. I had to show some love, and they didn't let me down, man. That's the thing, man. Like I can at least be proud of how they showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I used to say about the Cowboys, because even when we would lose, it was like, oh, we only lost by 3. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a respectable loss. Those days are gone. So I'm a Titans fan for the rest of the season, bro. You might as well switch my logo to Tennessee Titan logo. It's a wrap.
It's official.
Bro, I don't know if I can stick with them, bro.
Fan, like watching them, dude. Fucking Travis Henry is a legit like that
Derrick
guy.
Henry.
What's his name? Derrick Henry. I'm sorry, Derrick Henry.
Derrick
That
Henry.
motherfucker. If you like, what I like about that team is even if we stopped him for a half, dude, we stopped him dead cold. He didn't get any yards, and we did good against him. But they will not stop running him, and eventually he is so fucking big and fast that he will rip you apart, and he'll get yards. He will get his yards. You can't stop that guy.
Bro. That guy runs like a 4.3 or something, 4.4 or something. Like, dude, like he fast, bro. Like it's kind of crazy to think that dude's that big.
He's fucking. I don't want to switch lanes too much, but I do have to say this in regards to somebody being a freak of nature and fast. There's a clip of DK Metcalf. Russell Wilson threw an interception, right?
Yeah.
Over the weekend. This guy catches it.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
You saw the thing where they just showed DK Metcalf react and catch up to the guy?
Ross Leonard's picked off at the goal line. That's Buda Baker. Buda Baker out in front. Can Metcalf track him down? Can he chase him down?
Yeah, I saw that shit. But honestly, I don't really don't get me wrong, like Metcalf is fast. Like I don't want to take nothing away from him. Like that was straight up a show of athletic superiority.
The guy that had the ball he was running after looked like he was running from Jason. He saw him coming.
Yeah, he did.
No!
But this is what people don't want to realize, and like this is like a credit to Metcalf. Like I said, I don't want to take nothing away from what he did, but the reason why he caught that dude was because the second that pick got thrown, he reacted to it and started chasing the dude. And he literally started chasing him as the guy was catching the pick. So like he was already moving a little bit slower and had to get his speed up to catch the ball, you know what I'm saying, and get his balance. And while that guy was doing that, Metcalf was literally like in a full sprint already. So that's respect because he chased that dude for like 80 yards. A lot of players would give up, you know what I'm saying? So like legit, he chased that dude down. And it's like you said, he looked over his shoulder. And when you do that, you slow down too. So like that literally it's just like a cheetah running full speed, not breaking stride. You know what I'm saying?
It was like he saw his prey and was just like, you could see that guy like, no.
But I'm telling you, even more so, the fact that he was fast, it was because he reacted to it so quick, dude. Because like a lot of players, I'm telling you, like they see a pick get thrown and they kind of like freeze and be like, oh, damn, I got to chase that guy. Like he didn't even think that. He literally was like already running and saw that guy catch it and just kept running at him like, let's go, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was amazing, like, just for that. Like, but at the same time, I think that guy, had he not looked over his shoulder, he might could have beat him to the end zone. He just, like, for whatever reason, I think, like, guys in the NFL ain't really built to run 100 yards like that at top speed. Like, they're used to playing in short bursts. So, like, they always take a little easy when they get to that like 10-yard, 20-yard mark. You know what I mean? And it's just like Metcalf wasn't having none of that, bro. That fool was like, "I'll catch my breath on the sideline. I'm gonna get you."
But back to what you were saying. I mean, dude, Derrick Henry's a beast, and like through that, like losing like that, that's really it only made the Titans look that much better, honestly, because
They should have won that game.
If we would have played them again, they probably would win. They probably would beat us worse because Vrabel has a chance to actually analyze our team a little bit better, facing us. But
that's why I give them credit, bro. They make adjustments in the game. Like my team don't never do that shit. So it is what it is.
Your team is the Titans, Aaron.
I was about to say, man, I'm repping the Titans, dog. Honestly, I used to always have love for the Titans, anyways, because why can't I think of his name right now? Steve McNair. That's the guy that got killed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So McNair, I don't know why I can't think of his name, but McNair was some type of way a cousin of my friend growing up. Like distant cousin. Like he wasn't like a close cousin, but like he's always like, yeah, Steve McNair is related to because his grandma's last name was McNair. So like somewhere on his grandma's side of the family, he was like related to him. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I always had kind of love for them. And then actually I think that same like 2 years after that or whatever was when they went to that Super Bowl, and had like the miracle, game, and then they almost won that. So I've always had love for them. Like them in Jacksonville, even though Jacksonville sucks, I used to always just have love for Jacksonville because I like their uniforms, and it's just like
yeah, I like their logo too, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like I just like so if I was gonna jump AC to an AFC team, I would be down to pick one of them. And like since like I lived in Nashville, I got to give the love to the Titans, and if they win the Super Bowl, I won't be sad. I would rather them do it than the Chiefs.
I think
they almost beat the Chiefs last year, bro.
The Chiefs are getting a little bit hurt, and I think they're starting to show like they're not as good as they looked initially, dude. Now
last year the Chiefs almost lost to the Titans.
They might be a little bit better, but
I don't think he's gonna matter. I don't think they're gonna use him like that. I think that he's just gonna be like auxiliary type of shit. But we'll see.
I feel like sometimes people like if you're on a shitty team and you just kind of stagnate for a couple of years, you lose whatever that special
that dog.
Yeah. So
you just get used to mediocrity.
I will say
what's the game?
Steelers fan, I have been hating on them, but they're not playing perfect football, but they're winning every week and they seem competitive. So I feel like we can win on either side of the ball in any week. So I'm gonna just go ahead. Just for at least the next few games, I'm picking Steelers no matter what.
Listen to this. You might want to hold off on the proclamations.
We'll just get it now because this is a special week for Steelers fans. This is Ravens week. Week one of the Ravens saga. So this is what I think. If we win this game, I'm a true believer, and I'll just pick them the rest of the season. And to be honest, if we win like this week, we'll be what?
8-0, right?
7.
7-0. Yeah, 7-0.
Yeah, we missed a week, so we're 6-0.
Okay, yeah.
And then we'll be 7-0 if we win this week. We're playing the Ravens. I mean, dude, I feel like Lamar. I think we're built to actually do well against that team. But the thing I'm worried about is they have a really good tight end, and we lost that linebacker who covers tight ends, that Devin Bush dude, and we might struggle with that. But you never know. They seem to have figured out all the other things I didn't think they would, and the pressure that we generate with Dupree and Watt and Cam Hayward and stuff, it might be enough. I feel like it's going to be another like game like the Titans game where it's right down to the wire. And if I'm picking, I'm going to pick the Steelers. So I'm picking the Steelers 35.
Where the game at?
35-32. Where is the game at? I don't give a fuck. But I'm saying the Steelers are going to win 35-32. This game is oh shit, we're at Baltimore, so
yeah. See,
but yeah. See, 35-32. Steelers.
All right, so I'm gonna get my win back right now. And tie this shit up because I mean we might as well just pick Steelers games from now on because you ain't gonna get me to say the Cowboys gonna beat nobody, dog. Like I just don't see it. Like after that last week, bro. Like the Cardinals game was bad, but after seeing how they gave up in the second quarter, I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can even ever say they're down for a win ever again. So I'm going to go with the Ravens just to get my win back off of this one, you know what I'm saying? And I actually think they are going to hurt y'all feelings because in my game predictions, what I think is going to happen is y'all offense going to stale out this week because y'all kind of staled out a little bit against the Titans, little as you might not want to say that, but I think Ben going to throw
second half.
That's what I'm saying. I think Ben going to throw 2 interceptions. He going to throw 1 early and put y'all down. And then y'all going to be pressing, and then it's going to be a tip ball bullshit one that y'all get later. Put the voodoo on you. So, so I'm saying it's going to be 28-23 Ravens.
Wow, putting the fucking stink on us, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You, dude.
I got to now. I just got to hate for the rest of the season now because, I mean, we see the reality I live in, dude. I literally sat there.
I don't even feel bad. Like it's fine, dude. You can lash out.
Right. Dude, I watched that whole game, bro. I was like, just show me some ounce of fight, some grit somewhere. Not happening,
guys,
bro.
I mean, it just reeks of you can tell when they show sidelines because they can't cut the fans. There's no fans, so all they can do is cut the players, and they all just look sad. They're all just huffing.
You know what it was too?
And like,
they played on Monday night.
Zeke needs to apparently his hands are gone. Like he can't hold on to a fucking ball.
Somebody said he broke his wrist supposedly. But he's still playing. But I'm just because like they said he doesn't twitch the ball. Like, you know, like when you get by the sideline, you're supposed to put the ball in the closest to the sideline. You know what I'm saying? They said he never does that, and they were saying because they think he broke his wrist. But I'm just like, if that's the case, then go sit down. You already didn't quit. Everybody else has. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let the backup play. Yeah, just let the backup play. I don't know, man. So I'm we might as well cut the football segment at this point because we're just picking Steelers games from now on, dude. Like, who do the Cowboys play next week? The Eagles.
Another divisional game.
Yeah, they play the Eagles.
You're playing.
They don't, bro. There's no way in hell they're gonna beat the Eagles. Put it down. I don't even gotta think about this. I gotta think about this. 38-0, the Eagles. Fuck the bullshit. They're gonna shit on us, dude. They might score 7.
38-0.
Bro, they putting up a goose egg. They might score 7 just to spite me. Just to spite me, but I don't think they're scoring at all. After saying last week, how can you say that? Dude, they got
dude, if they get a goose egg, that will be incredible. I don't think they can stand a goose egg. You gotta like actively try to suck to get.
Here's the thing. They almost did that against the Redskins, dude. The only reason why they got 3 points was because the Redskins went for it on 4th down, and they had a goal line stand in the first quarter, dog. Like, they had to do a goal line stand in the first quarter. That's how the Redskins were scoring. They almost put up 35 on us, and then we only got 3 off some BS. So, like, come on, man. Like, they almost did a goose egg last week. Like, you know what I mean?
I'll give them 35. I'm saying Philly's gonna win, obviously. The Cowboys have no chance to win, but I'm saying 35-6.
Man, motherfucking
really?
48-0.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
pick any number you want to pick, dude. Like, because they've almost gotten blown out like that a couple of times, bro. The Browns almost did that to them. They was down 41-14 with Dak. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
like this is the third quarterback. Like they're trash, dog. Like it is what it is, man. Jerry Jones, good job, bro.
Well, you might tie it up, dude, because again, through week 7 of the NFL, picking the Steelers in Dallas, I'm winning 11-2 because obviously I have great taste and a great judgment.
You snuck by with a lucky Steelers win over the mighty Tennessee Titans. The mighty Titans.
You're 1 win away, dude. If Steelers,
yeah, I just need, you know, Ben's gonna come out there and throw some picks. His elbow's gonna be a little wobbly this week. You know, we'll see what happens.
It's possible, dude, but we're undefeated, so it's whatever. Like we're doing fine.
Y'all not gonna be undefeated all season. You realize that, right?
No, but I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Getting into the playoffs at this point, I feel like we got a real good shot at that happening, especially with more teams getting into the playoffs. We're gonna get into that, I think.
If y'all stay healthy.
some catastrophic happens. But
Yeah, if y'all stay healthy, y'all definitely will go because all the other teams aren't that good, bro. Like the Raiders are still suspect, Chargers are suspect, Bills are suspect. Kansas City even kind of falling off a little bit, but they're gonna probably go. You know what I'm saying? And then Patriots falling off. Jets ain't shit. Miami kind of all right, but you know what I'm saying? Like every team is like, what I'm saying, they just put Tua in, which is crazy. It's like Fitzpatrick had them, you know, in third place, second place in the division. Like, he had to just bench him.
He was like, I'm heartbroken. They took this job away from me.
He knew it was coming. They picked the dude 5th overall. It's like, come on, bro.
That's been his thing.
Yeah.
He was like the guy on the Bills. Then he became the guy who sits in. He's like Josh McCown.
You're backup, bro.
He's gonna win you some games. He's not gonna lose you a game probably, but as soon as you get that quarterback you really want, you're out, and that is what it is. Sucks.
Yeah. Sorry, but that is you're right. It is what it is. I mean, but look who would they be replacing him with? It'd be like he was on the Bucks, and then they got Tom Brady. It's like you can't say nothing.
Yeah,
dog.
I mean, dude.
I mean, it's like, dude, chill. And it's like give it to him.
I think like for him though, like if he can keep doing that, keep riding that wave, bro. I would love it if he was the backup on the Steelers because at least you got some kind of guy with some ability that you know can actually win a game.
He's either going to come in and throw 5 touchdowns or 5 picks. I mean, that's Fitzpatrick, bro. That's what he do.
He's got a weird like image too. Like he started off just like a pretty boy like Harvard dude, and now he always like wears like chains and fucking has that huge ass beard. He's very
like fucking Conor McGregor's older brother.
Yeah, he does. He definitely has that vibe. I guess that's like the thing to do if you're just like a insecure white dude is you exude like being a.
Isn't Fitzpatrick Irish?
Probably.
Isn't he Irish? Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's just he took that swag from McGregor and was like, oh, I'm finna run with this. It's like
if I had that kind of money and could afford like a mink coat and shit, I would be doing that shit.
Hell yeah. You walking around with your fucking sweaty ass fucking naked shirt and a mink coat, bro, just sweating the whole inside of that out.
Even if it was just like cold and I wasn't sweating, I would like spritz myself to make sure I had that image of just like
take that shit to the dry cleaner. They're just like, sir, what did you jizz in this? Like, what is this?
Yes, I did. Okay.
But yeah, what was the? So we're gonna talk about politics, man. Like I said, football is we've talked about this long enough.
We got those picks off, so let's see what happens. Steelers, please, guys. Just help me. Help me, okay? I don't want to lose to this fucking guy. That he doesn't even have a team, guys. Everyone listening, I've stuck to him, okay? Aaron.
Oh well, I mean, hey man.
He's on a burning ship, and I get it, dude. But we gotta just have a funeral for the love of the Cowboys, and I guess like the phoenix rising out of the ashes that your Titans fandom. Is this forever, or is this just for this year?
I mean,
because my mind's blown, dude. Like,
I'm gonna tell you this. To me, it's really not that big of a switch because like the colors are similar. Titans have a star in their logo. I think next to the T, there's little stars next to it.
And
I used to live there.
You got that weird. I think somewhere in your shit is the diamonds that are on the Steelers helmet because that's some sort of oil shit or some kind of I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. I think you might be right, but see, that's the thing. Like, I would be even open-minded enough to maybe want to jump ship to a Steelers fandom, but I just can't because you like the Steelers, and I just feel like it's funny to watch you squirm a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny because you're hating on me, but like I used to have blind faith in my team. You've always had hatred in your team. Even now, you still want to throw a little bit of shade.
Dude, I just want to point out where this comes from as a fan because I've been a fan. I'm 37 years old, so I would say for 27 real years where I understood what football was and could actually articulate why I liked a team, that's how long I've liked the Steelers. But I lived through seeing your team, your former team, beat us in the Super Bowl that one year when Neil O'Donnell threw it away. So I saw that. I didn't have any real like sadness because I wasn't like one of those fans that's been waiting for them to win a Super Bowl for a long, it wasn't like that. But they lost. That was disappointing.
That was when I became a Cowboy fan,
See?
and little did I know that would change the entire course of my life.
And then I went through all the dips that you could go through. Cordell Stewart giving us hope and then taking it away and sucking. And Tommy Maddox, an XFL quarterback who was there before Ben Roethlisberger and had one good year, but then got hit in the head and lost all ability to throw anything but intercepted.
Turnover Tommy.
I mean, anything Mike Tomczak for real Steelers fans. That guy, we had to watch him.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and I don't want to cut you off, but I just want all the people to know that I witnessed Matt literally hate on his team all the way up to a Super Bowl championship.
Oh my God!
We were in college, and that year that we were in college, they played the Cardinals in the Super Bowl, right? And y'all beat
one
them.
of the
that was the year
greatest
James Harrison
games of all time, by the way, ever.
Bro, James Harrison was balling out of his mind that year, bro. James Harrison was on fire that year, and Roethlisberger, and the Bucs.
Everybody,
because he's playing there. Yeah, like y'all were the truth, and Matt literally hated on them every game. I would be like, man, the Steelers doing good because my team. Like he's saying all that about his team. At least his team was flirting with championships and AFC titles and shit. My team was still the same 8-8 team and 6-5 and 6-10 team that you're talking about. So like you can say all that, but you used to hate on them, and I was still even at 6-10 have blind faith. Like, man, they gonna get better. They gonna get better. So now I'm where you were. I've just given up. I have nothing else to say because they haven't shown me shit, and they haven't proven shit neither. And now they're quitting, so I really can't fuck with them. But you're saying all that while your team won a Super Bowl, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at my wit's end, dude.
I mean, first of all, just a real quick anecdote about that Super Bowl win. Great night for Matt, because not only did I get to witness that.
It's the first time.
But I got laid.
I found out you were a Steelers fan.
I got laid that night, too, which was great. I got all of, like, everything I wanted. It was just like one of those.
Well.
Everything lines up perfectly nights, bro. So just that's just like remember.
That's awesome for you. That's awesome for you. But I just want the fans of the show to know that before that night, you would have never known Matt was a Steelers fan because all he did was spew hatred and obscenities about the Steelers as they won in spite of him. As they won in spite of him. This is how you
motivate a team. I can't be in the room with them. I can't tell them.
Why doesn't it work for me then?
Well,
why doesn't it work for me, man? I've been hating the Cowboys for years, man.
But maybe
because I secretly love them.
No, make a fucking one of those secret boards and just envision the Cowboys' success. I don't know. But
I find it funny because, like, if you're from another country, like, you give no fucks about football, and, like, let's just say you randomly heard this, and it's just like, Americans, they really seem to care about their football teams. I don't even understand this sport, you know what I mean? Like, that's what most foreign people tell me. It's like, I just don't get it, you know what I mean? And then it's like, you ask an American about soccer, it's the same way as like, I don't fucking even understand how you're supposed to play that shit. Because to me, bro, soccer looks like, to me, a mix of mad skill and a whole bunch of luck. Because, like, in order to actually score, a lot of things got to kind of go right. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody has to kick that little cross kick across the field, and then somebody has to, like, be running at the perfect time to jump in the air and kick it past the goalie. Like, that shit looks hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's all they – that's the whole game.
I used to play that as a little kid, a little fat kid. That was a nightmare, dude. All you did was run all the time, bro.
They put my slow ass on defense back in the day. I remember. And then I asked the coach, could I be goalie? And then I was really good at it. And he was like, oh, you could just stay back here at the goalie spot. But I used to make hustle plays on defense, bro. They would tell me, don't go past half court. Just stay, half field, or like stay back here when somebody come take the ball from them. But they would never let me try to shoot because I guess I just didn't have them skills. I don't know. I was only like, 7, so I couldn't fucking tell you. Wow. Yeah, all Americans play soccer when they're young, and then it's like we just never play it again.
You just gain enough weight where you're like, this is too hard now. So
right.
I'm not good enough to actually do anything with this. I'm good.
Well,
I mean, it was cool. I don't mind it, but it's like, god damn.
It's
Let me
fun,
just play
but
defense.
the thing about it is like in order to watch it now, like as an adult, you have to like be a fanatic about a team. You know what I mean? Because that's how every soccer fan is. They're like crazy, dude. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a team, it's kind of just like, I'm just watching. I don't, I have no horse. It's like when you watch two teams in football. It's the same way. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care who wins between the Chargers and the Broncos. You know what I mean? But if you're a Broncos fan, that's like one of your biggest games of the year. You know what I mean? Like you fucking hype. You know what I'm saying? But not for me. So same thing with soccer. But I was gonna say, segueing into American shit, we can get to the politics.
I don't even like. I'm so proud that we haven't talked about Trump and shit for a while.
I know, man. But we kind of have to.
Yeah.
I actually watched the debate, and we don't have to make this a long segment because
no,
to me,
this is what I want out of this. What's gonna happen? First of all, who wins, and what happens after we come to the consensus that person has won?
Okay, so I mean,
I'll go first if you want me to.
I was about to say, yeah, go ahead, man, because I got some craziness. I don't even know. I'm about to go on a fucking Trump rant where I just start off on some other shit and just land on X somehow. So do your thing, bro.
I'm just going to say this, that I do not want him to win. I do not want Donald Trump to win. And I think that if you watch television, if you watch the news, it seems like the general consensus is Joe Biden's going to win by a lot. That's what I'm hearing when I listen to stuff.
That's what they said about Hillary, though.
You know exactly. But what's concerning to me is there's a lot of, again, this thing where you only see the part of the argument that your opinion is based off of on the internet. So I support the Democrats this year. I'm not really tied to any party. I don't really care. This year, I just think we have to vote to get Trump out. That's the only thing that we have to do this year. So I've seen all this stuff, but I'm seeing when I look for it, there's a lot of people who are really ardent, like you wouldn't think are supportive of Trump or would like be positive about how he's come off in these debates. But I watched the debate, the last one with the presidential candidates, and right after it, I watched this video that the LA Times did where they just got a bunch of random people on a Zoom call that watched it. But these were not like experts. These were just like random people in Los Angeles, multiple racial profiles, like different types of people. All of them said that based off of what they saw in the last debate, at least, there was like 12 people in the Zoom call, I think. I saw like 7 of them and I turned it off because they all said, I'm voting for Trump after I saw that shit. And I didn't understand that. But what that says to me is that no matter what you're hearing, I think no matter what, the news is going to say Biden's going to win, and whether or not it's by a lot or not, they're going to indicate he's going to win because that's what they want to happen. Whether or not the polls are accurate or whatever, but I really, honestly, dude, I don't want it to happen. I have voted so it doesn't happen, but I think Trump's going to win, dude. I think that we're trying to ignore this gigantic mass of people who are now voting, who normally I don't think would, but they've been activated by Trump to vote. And the numbers that everyone have in mind that are these experts, they don't know that these trash fucking people have all, like, they're turned on. Like, no matter what they see, they're gonna vote for him, and they never would have voted if it wasn't for this crazy dude. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna win. I don't want it to happen, but I think that's what's gonna happen, bro. And if it doesn't happen, if somehow Biden is awarded he wins both elections, the popular and the electoral college, Trump's gonna call bullshit. He just got this Supreme Court justice in, this new chick, and I think he's gonna do whatever he can to not leave the White House, which is real scary. Either way, completely terrifying.
Well, all right. Like I said, man, I'm about to go on some kind of left field shit. I'm gonna try to make it quick, but I think a lot of people got to realize some shit first off, right? there is a mass amount of people that think that if Biden wins, he is going to make them get a vaccine. So off rip with that, dude, you're like playing into like really the heartstrings of a lot of American controversy and issues where, number one, healthcare is a constant battle for everyone. And then if he were to somehow, like, I don't think he's going to make people get a vaccine because, like, I'm going to just tell you off rip, like, I'm not going to get one of them shits. I don't care what anybody says, like, or belief in COVID or whatever, any of that. Like, I'm just not afraid of dying. First and foremost, I'm going to just keep it real like that. Like, if that's what my destiny is, then I'll take it versus getting a vaccine from some people that I don't fucking trust. So off rip, I think that's a major selling point for a lot of people. Now, neither one of them have come out and said that. Not even Trump has said that, which I'm surprised he hasn't. But because I feel like that's a good selling point for him. And that's kind of why I personally wouldn't vote for him, is because I don't think he's a very smart or tactful person, dude. Because I've sat down and literally like pulled up like a Trump speech on my phone and been like, I'm going to actually try to listen to this dude and see what he said at this rally. Like, not that I agree with it or anything. I just want to hear if you make a coherent point. And he never does. Like, he literally just talks in a weird circle that to him makes sense. But if you're like actually listening to the words coming out of his mouth, it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you didn't say anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you didn't make a point, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the thing that's terrifying about that, though.
Let's do an experiment real quick. I'm going to look up Trump speech.
I mean, I've never heard him, like, sound smart. So that's why I can't really fuck with him, because I feel like you need to be somewhat smart, and not even, like, a genius, but you need to be smart enough to say things as the president. And he can't say things. Like, even George Bush, that we used to clown, talks better than him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's kind of where I'm kind of standing with it, dude. Because I'm just judging these people legitimately off of the type of man that I think they are. Also, I've gone to Trump's website. If you look at Biden's website versus Trump's website, like, first and foremost, Trump is terrifying because as a politician, he doesn't make promises. And that's kind of weird because, like, most politicians, that's what they do. Like, if you go to Biden's website, it says, I plan on cutting your student loans. I plan on getting healthcare. I plan on doing this. I plan on doing that. And then behind what these bullet points are that he says, then he says, I plan on doing it by, you know, doing this, this, and this. I'm going to cut taxes here, do this. Like, there's a literal, like, small scale, you know, description of kind of how the plan would go. Trump's literally looks like a D student's work where, like, they were like, hey, write an outline for a paper in an hour. And, like, literally he sat there and it's just like, this and this, protect your Second Amendment right. Like, it's just like the most base level shit with no explanation behind it. So once again, he's just not proving intelligence to me. And that's kind of why, like, to me, anybody that's seen this for 4 years, it's been the same case. So, like, anybody that's crazy enough to vote for him, to me, I think they've already put that aside. So the fact, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you would think, like, I'm looking for evidence of, like, intelligence, of some type of life or decorum or tactfulness, and he hasn't shown it for 4 years. But these people still keep fucking with him. So to me, that's not what they care about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it means nothing. So, like, the fact that people, like, go on these debates and they say, oh, he looked unpresidential or this and that, like, to a Democrat voter, then yeah, that looks like he's losing. But how you said you went on that Zoom call and you, like, saw people saying that they thought he won. Me, as someone who's impartial, I kind of felt like he won too, because Biden, not that I would vote for him, but I think that Biden didn't throw the crap back at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even the way that he's engaging with him, I feel like Biden isn't, like, a smart enough wordsmith to really sit there and, like, go at him. And that's what people are looking for. Like, I'm just looking at it from, like, a stupid person. You know what I'm saying? It's like standpoint. Like, I feel like they're looking for that argument. They want them to be jabbing at each other. They want him to give him some shit. You know what I'm saying? But, like, he's trying to keep playing that game. And he's in it, like, you're in a whole different game now, dude. Like, Trump has switched it up. It's not about being a smart politician anymore. Because, like I said, for 4 years, he's shown he's not a smart politician, and people still keep fucking with him. So you, as a competitor to that guy, you got to be, you know, you got to be Randy Savage. You know what I'm saying? If you're going against Hollywood Hulk Hogan, you got to be Randy Savage, dog. Like, you got to be a character too. Like, that's the game we're in now, dude. So that's why I don't know if Biden's going to win either.
Stutter, dude. Like, he's like Joe Biden. The thing that he doesn't have going for him is, one, he has a lot of skeletons in his closet that they can pull out, which sucks. And two, he has a stutter. he can't speak well. And when he even tries, like there was times where he in the last debate where I was like, you know what? That was actually really well put. Like he didn't trip over his words. But when it gets down to it, the guy just can't. He keeps tripping over his words. And some of the shit, you can tell it's like those moments when he like has to talk to America. You know,
He seems
you can tell
feeble. Like that's my thing.
it just you can tell
Like,
it's
he
like
seems-
somebody had told him to do that. It's not like a natural thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh wait, now you have to talk to America. America, you're in trouble.
Say the speaking points.
Yeah,
Right.
and
like to me, like that's what I mean. Like I think that like the simpletons that are gonna vote are looking at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I said, me and you, we're trying to look at it from an intellectual standpoint, but you got to realize like this is like seeing a second grade teacher battle a chimpanzee. You know what I'm saying?
What? What the fuck?
Like when a chimpanzee starts throwing shit, and the teacher is like, "Sit down, get at your desk." Like that's not what the point that you're at anymore. You got to get the ruler out and spank that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not what Biden is giving to people. And I think even Democrats want to see that, bro. And that's why I don't think I'm with you, man. I kind of feel like I hate saying it. I think Trump gonna win too. But when you say about what's gonna happen, I think nothing's gonna happen. From the perspective of a black man, like it don't matter who the president is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really want to keep it all the way funky with you.
I just
You know what I'm
think
saying?
that it sucks that we're at a point now where, you know, I think it always comes to this every 4 years where you're just forced to choose like, oh, well, I mean, in this case, it's so extreme to me where it's either just some douche like lunatic or a guy who's probably crooked as fuck, a politician, but at least in terms of the overall like our image to the world and how maybe connecting us back into some of those things that Trump nixed, like the World Health Organization and being part of those things, like some of those things we got to be a part of. You know, it's not good that we're not a part of that. So I think like just not having Donald Trump in here, creating all this unrest, I think we need to be voting for Biden, at least in my opinion, but it always seems like it's just, well, at least this guy is not going to kill us all, or this guy's not a douchebag.
Well,
it's always like, when
that's what
are
I
we
was
ever
about to
going to
say.
be given like more so, could it ever be that where it's more like your platforms? It's not just, I'm on this team and this is what we do. Like these are all the
right.
etched in concrete platforms we have, and it's never going to change. Like it'd be cool if we could just get a lot of options, and like there's all these common problems that we want to address. Like tell us what you're going to do this shit and then make that happen. Do you think like that could ever happen?
Well, the only way that could ever happen to me is you have to take money out of politics, bro. Like it needs to be that like somebody like you and me could decide to run for a public office and not need $1 billion to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like a couple of things have happened, and like Americans have such a short memory, dude. So like I try to make it quick, but like you realize when Obama ran for presidency, he was the first president to raise $1 billion. That was one of his campaign telling notes. People forgot about that. That was one of the big things they said about him. He had $1 billion to campaign with. So off rip right there, what does that tell you? You can't be president unless you're a fucking billionaire. Boom. That's what the message is. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you need to have access to people that can give you $1 billion to be president. But in order to do that, you have to serve the people that gave you $1 billion. That's how the fuck it works. Like, this is quid quo pro, dog. Like, that's how America has always been. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had never seen it not like this. So then if you want to flip that, though, you're talking about when are we going to get like an actual candidate where you're like, because like right now, like you said, we're kind of picking president based off of least common denominator. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, the best choice is because that's who they picked. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the best guy. Because even at the Democratic convention, that's kind of what happened. Like it was like, well, we know Sanders is too crazy and people ain't going to want to fuck with him. And we can't put this person up there because nobody likes her. And we can't be him because, you know what I'm saying? It's like Biden's the least controversial out of all of them. But really, he wasn't even running. Like, I think if I'm not mistaken, he had conceded his position in Delaware. He was just going around as the ex-vice president. Like, that's what his job has been in politics for the last few years. So basically, he ain't been doing shit. That's why his shit not crisp. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't make good speeches because he ain't been in the game. You know what I mean? So, like, off rip, to me, that's what I'm saying. So, like, to me and you, I think we both kind of see eye to eye agreeing that to some degree there is a controlling hand above all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how deep you think the conspiracy goes, but me, you know, I've given diatribes on it. So, believing in that dark hand, if you're the dark hand, right, you could have put a better candidate up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me shows you don't want that other side to win. You want Trump to keep doing what he's doing because with him in power, he's playing to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever those people are, he's getting them bread. They're winning still. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have not taken a loss since before Clinton.
They've had
like the first Bush.
Unmeasurable gains even through the pandemic.
That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, like, that's been like that since Bush #1, dude. Like, Jimmy Carter, if I'm not mistaken, was the only president to really try to stand up to that shit since, like, JFK. And they ushered him out the back door, and they was like, I think they probably told him, you lucky we ain't put a bullet in your head, motherfucker. And showed him the Kennedy tape and put him out the door and was like, peace. You know what I mean? And, like, ever since then, they've been doing that. Because, like, who ran – answer this question. You probably don't even remember. Because I'm trying to remember. Who ran against Obama the second time? The first time it was –
wasn't it Mitt Romney?
McCain. It was McCain, right. So the second time, you have to ask yourself, wasn't it Mitt Romney? So what did the Republicans do? They put up a Biden-type candidate to usher up there and be like, hey, yeah, we tried, you know what I'm saying? But Romney ain't going to beat motherfucking Obama. Come on, man. Like, that dude was up there like baby Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was spitting shit, kissing babies, you know what I mean? Like, the epitome of a politician. Then ask yourself this. Who ran against Clinton the second time? See what I'm saying? Who was that? You remember the first time? Boom. See what I'm saying? So, like, Bob Dole was gonna beat Clinton. Clinton was on late night playing saxophone and shit, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I remember because SNL like did all that shit. You know, they're always like heavy into politics, but like Bob Dole was literally, it was like somebody pulled Nixon's corpse out of the ground and just was like, here, he's not gonna work totally right, but. Like, he always fucking that, like, I'm fucking Bob Dole, God damn it. He just sounded like an angry.
That's what I'm saying. Because, like, dude, this is the thing that they realized, bro. Like, Nixon lost to Kennedy or whatever. They were saying because he had, like, sweat on his lip. You remember that? Like, it's like a story they tell about that shit. So, like, what they found out was because that was the first time the presidential election was ever aired on television. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they were saying a lot of people on radio, when they listened to it, thought that Nixon won. But people on TV said they thought Kennedy won because he looked better. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if we know this, why are you going to put an ugly-ass Bob Dole up against hot-shot, sexy fly Clinton? You see what I'm saying? The same thing with Mitt Romney versus Obama and McCain versus Obama. People are visual. You know what I'm saying? Like, you realize they put ads on your phone and shit because they know if you see it, you're going to remember it. It's going to attract your attention. You know what I'm saying? They're bright. They're attentive. They move. There's music to them, all that shit. Same thing with the presidency. They come out to music. They have their haircut a certain way. They look a certain way. They do certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all an act, bro. Like, we make movies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've shot videos. We know how this shit works. You know what I mean? Like, the news is not telling you the facts. The news is presenting a story to you that they wrote. And then they present it the best way they can. You know what I mean? Like, they don't show up to the site and actually ask real bystanders. Sometimes they catch people that saw it, but it's not like they're piecing together evidence so that they can take it to court and be like, at 9:05, we rolled up on the scene and saw this and that. Like, it's not that detailed. You know what I'm saying? It's that, oh, something happened downtown. Let's ask this guy what he saw. Man, it was crazy, dog. I seen like 3 people over here doing this and that, and then motherfucking bomb went off. Boom, shit was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we know this shit is scripted, dog. So why do you think this presidential election is any type of way? To me, if you're believing this script, I don't think the script wants Biden to win. Like, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't I know that. Like I mean, it's just like nothing seems strong about the campaign at all. Like, even the vice president, like, they picked this Kamala Harris chick, but it's like that doesn't, like, I thought that might be the difference maker, like having this powerful voice, but you don't hear shit. Like, all this COVID stuff, like, you're not getting any of that. And I don't really even think, honestly, dude, it would matter because this.
Well, you know what's really sad about that? Pence and Kamala are better candidates for presidency than either one of those.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like, I don't like Mike Pence, but at least Mike Pence to me goes up there and says shit coherently to where I can say, oh, he had a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
Like I said, Trump literally for 4 years has been saying shit where it's like, where did you start? Like, hold on, bro. What are you talking about? Like stop for a second. Just stop talking. What are you saying? Like, answer the question, yes or no first, and then you can say all that other shit. But he don't, like, for 4 years he's been doing this, and nobody has questioned this dude at that shit, bro. And, like, they just showed him walk off of 60 Minutes, and, like, I think, like I said, like, you have to look at that being interpreted by the two sides that are watching it. Like, I really feel like to the Democratic person that sees him get off of 60 Minutes, they're laughing at themselves like, oh, this dummy can't even talk to Barbara Walters and shit, man. Look at this dude, man. He a fucking clown. But then to the, the right wing, they're like, damn right, man. Fuck those media. Fucking
yeah.
They're killing
And he's made it.
He's
He's
you know what I'm saying?
this
Like,
climate where he's like, these people are bullshit. They're all, this is fake. Like they're perpetrating some bullshit. So fuck them anyway. So he can do that.
But then here's the other thing.
They was trying to lie on President Trump. They was trying to tell lies about him. That's why he walked out. And it's like, dude, what are you talking
about this,
about,
bro?
Dude? Oh. I just shot so much truth into Aaron that he fucking paused. Aaron. All
right, yeah.
I got you back. Sorry about that.
All right, technical difficulties. But So Trump in the first election, though, got caught, or they're trying to say he colluded with Russia or whatever, right? But regardless if that happened or not, when the Mueller report came out that said he did or he didn't, it got presented to a House full of Republicans, a Senate full of Republicans, and then they swept it under the rug. So nothing came from it. So because of that, that now gave him the free will to go back to those same countries. And this time, because we don't know if he colluded or not the first time, but now we know that he's in bed with them people. He's friends with Putin. He's friends with all them people now. So he could literally be like, hey, what y'all did last time, you know what I'm saying? Here's a little something under the table. Do that shit again. Because you can't tell me this election's not going to get interfered with. It's already happened. And they didn't take no steps to stop it this time from happening. Why do you think that is? Who's in charge of making it safe? Trump. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to me, like, it's all shaped up to, once again, build that same Hillary build-up where it's like, oh, there's no way this fucker can win, to then fall down on our faces and be like, no, I did. But Trump's good for those other countries too, dude. He's getting billionaires paid. They have cheap labor in China. They're paying those people more, not the workers, but the factory managers and all of them people getting more money, and the Republic of China making more money from it. So to me, it's all to their benefit, bro. Like I said, if you really believe in that dark hand shit, like, they're winning. There's no point to stop the train. You know what I mean?
It's just crazy that, we've gone through the pandemic this far. It's like literally 6 months, like as long as we've been doing this podcast. And it's all culminating, and everyone's getting kind of tired of that. And now we're on to this. And it seems like this whole thing, if you just watch it as like a story unfold, it's the timing of all this just seems so ridiculously, it's so serendipitous.
Crazy,
if this is just really random things happening in the universe, and it just serendipitously happened to be that we had this pandemic, and it created all these things in government, that these problems and all these bigger problems in society, and that's all like whirling around. And now we have this presidential thing where it's literally it's the most divided I've ever seen in a presidential election in my lifetime, for sure. It's always been
really
like
think it is?
the fuck the Republicans, and the Democrats are like say fuck the Republicans and vice versa. It's always been like that, and that's always why I never bought into politics, because I was like, these guys are just playing
the game. Yeah.
They're playing like a movie or a stage play out in front of us where, they hate it. It's just like wrestling. They're acting in front of us, and then they go out back and they're all smoking cigarettes like, Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
It's people in the audience of wrestling, dude, that think that Stone Cold wants to stab The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like if he saw him on the street, he was gonna really kill him. But the only reason why he didn't, because he in the ring. So you gotta just tap him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that really think this, dog. So like, that's what politics is. They really think that they're not on the same team. Like, I wouldn't go so far. I really believe that if you lose a presidency, you like running for a presidency, you probably make money, dog. like in a loss. You probably make bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see, you see what I mean? Like, I don't see how that's not a benefit to you financially because you were raising all that money to run, and if you win, you were going to get a bunch of bread. And now that you've lost, you probably get a check and walk off into the sunset. Like, I don't really see this. Like, I don't think that's a far-fetched idea. You know what I mean? Like, I can't prove it because I don't know enough about the shit. But I mean, I could do some research and find out. I'm pretty sure you get money for losing in any election. You wind up with some bread. You know what I'm saying? And like, think about this, bro. Like, you talking about the serendipitous of all this shit. This is what I've been on this week, man. Is I've been kind of doing some like crazy spirituality shit, just researching a whole bunch of crazy shit. And to me, what I've been noticing is I think that's really what's going on is we're in a battle right now for our minds or your soul or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's all just tied into this election. I think it's just like the times that we're living in. Like, I think that we're in an age now where they're literally trying to like know everything about you so that they can literally be like, how can we best sell something to this person or use this person to sell something for us? You know what I mean? So like, it's to that degree now, dude, where like, like if you have an Apple Watch, like Apple knows when you're looking at your phone, and then they know if you have a slight change in your pulse or whatever, based off of what you're viewing in your phone. And they can see that. Like same thing on Facebook. Like when you scroll through Facebook, they can look and see how long did you look at that ad for? How long did you watch that video for? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he reacted to that. He said he liked that one. He said he hated that one. So let's give them more of that, because regardless of how you react, they know now that they have a response from you. So they're going to keep sending you more of that, whether it's something you hate or something you like, they're going to keep sending it to you. So like, literally it's like a battle for your mind, dude. Like, you know, what's crazy. Like I was saying on that spiritual shit, and I was thinking about the Matrix movie, right? And when they told Neo that he was the one the first time, he didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And like, really think about what did Neo do to become the one? Like, yeah, they gave him all the training shit. Like when he got into the little, you know, simulator and shit, like they gave him all the karate shit. But even then, he wasn't the one. When he became the one was at the end of the movie when he had a shift of thought. Like he had like a consciousness shift where he said, oh, damn, the spoon don't really exist. And then he stopped the bullets and shit in thin air. You know what I mean? But like, the only thing that changed in him was what he thought about himself. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's going on when I say it's a battle for your mind. Like, I think that they want you in fear. Like, they want you afraid of the pandemic. They want you worried about the election. They want you.
Damn. Hold on, bro. All right, cool. We're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, my internet's been bad all week, dude. So I don't know. I think my phone, they're trying to phase out my old phone technology and make me buy a new phone, but they can kiss my ass. But no, like, but you feel me on what I'm saying though. Basically, is that like all this stuff, dude, the election, the pandemic, everything is to keep you in a state of fear so that they can control your mind, dude. Because like I said, if you're afraid and scared and somebody comes to you with a blanket and warm food, you could never view that person as an enemy. But then come to find out, it's like the Hansel and Gretel story where, oh, the witch got a house made out of candy, but come to find out this bitch trying to push you in the oven. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to present the solution to you as, oh, you're scared of the pandemic. Well, here's a cure-all. You know what I'm saying? Or you're worried about your job. Well, here's something for you so you don't got to worry about the job. Here's a stimulus check, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody with an answer now is the solution and your best friend, because what really is the most terrifying thing is that the only answers you really can trust are from yourself. Nope, like that's what America's falling apart from, bro. We put our hands into the government, and like a lot of things that we even argue about as a government, like as people, aren't even government problems. Like a gay person getting married and shit, or someone using a bathroom, that's not a government issue, bro. That's a societal thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something that you need to write a law about to say, oh, everybody's equal now. Like it should just be that you have inalienable rights like anyone else. Like if you want to be called they, or you want to be a woman or whatever, like that's an inalienable right. Just your pursuit of happiness. Go be happy. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want you really happy. You know what I'm saying? Because a happy person don't need nothing. They need to sell you shit. That's why you got to be afraid and, you know what I'm saying, the constant turmoil, dude. And that's why they keep the shit going. Like, that's why I think Trump's probably the best thing to happen to them, because the more he keeps everybody in, you know, chaos and turned up, the more they can sell you shit. Because then it's like, well, here's a solution to all your problems. You unhappy? Here's a pill. You should buy that thing. You buy that boat. It'll make you feel like you good now. You know what I'm saying? Like you made it. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to keep going down the rabbit hole with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm crazy, but
No, I mean, I think that's interesting. I do agree, though, like beyond everything, like especially right now, even if you just are talking about the pandemic, um, the one thing that I can, through all this, that seems to be the most clearest way to be safe in this time with the thing with COVID going around is that you yourself, and this goes into what you're saying, need to be in shape. You need to take care of your health and like eat well, exercise, like do things to make your immune system better.
But check this. It's not just
They're not
physical, it's
saying
here
that.
too. It's your mind too, bro. Like that's
I
what you
mean,
got.
but that again, that is again, that goes with it also. And I mean, for me personally, we've been doing this. Like I've been trying to do things that are fulfilling to me personally, and I'm trying to like kind of flex that part of my muscle too, where maybe I wasn't doing that. I was sick before or whatever. We're all busy. You just don't do the things that make you happy. And like one thing that makes me happy is being creative. Writing or doing this shit with you. It might not be anything. It doesn't have to be like this groundbreaking shit, but just doing this and all the stuff that I'm learning, and I think that both of us are learning about being consistent and setting goals and stuff and attaining those goals. It does help, and it's like a life lesson. And you can do that now, and especially when you're all locked up and shit. Probably like something that is easy to do for everyone is just do something you're like trying to do or passionate about and see what happens. Like do that kind of stuff. That'll help you.
Hell yeah. Like what you're saying, dude, is kind of something called ego death. But what I would definitely say is 100% yes, work out, stay in shape, because that makes your mind fresher too. Like it's been scientifically proven, like people that work out have better brain function. So like that's number one step. And then that brain function will start making you want to do more shit like that. Get into your creative endeavors, do those things. Because really what that is, like I was saying, it's like the death of the ego, where your ego wants to be safe in the shell, happy, never challenged. Like that's what ego is. Like the second that somebody, like you think you a hard dude, you think you big and bad, somebody push you in the back, they're too big for you to fight, so you get scared and then you run away. Ice Cube, I'm talking to you. So
yeah, dude. Yeah.
But see, like if that were to happen though, then my ego is now bruised, and now I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not who I thought I was. Or like if you make something creative and then you fail at it and nobody likes it, it's like, damn, that shit wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? But like the only way it gets better is to constantly keep killing that ego, where you say to yourself, I'm gonna keep challenging myself even though I'm not comfortable. You know what I mean? Like that's what people think is like you're gonna reach this point in life where that goes away. You know what I'm saying? Like people think that like, I guess I'm trying to even think of like who's an example. Like I'm pretty sure Hulk Hogan, every night that he went out there and he like was doing his match, like in his back of his mind, it's like, I hope all this goes well. All the moves got to be right. You know what I'm saying? I got to drop the boot at the right time. Like I got to do the Hulkamania. Like I think people
look at a guy like Jordan. That guy did everything possible. Miserable motherfucker. Cared about.
It's funny
everything.
that you say that. I met a guy that claims he played golf with Jordan a lot of times, and I was like, has Jordan ever like broken 80? And he was like, he can do it, but not consistently. And he said Jordan would give up one of his championship rings if he could break 80 consistently as a golfer, shoot like scratch golf. You know what I'm saying? Like if he could shoot like a 75 or a 68 or something, like he said he would give up one of his rings. I was like, that's hilarious. But like, that's the ego. You know what I'm saying? Like and him playing golf challenges that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I like golf, because it's something you're constantly working at. You know what I'm saying? And like people don't have that same mindset to their life. Like they think like, well, I got a job taking care of all my needs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool now. I can just chill. It's like, this is when you need to be working even harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is when you really got to look at yourself and say, because, like, it's billion. Like, Robert Williams killed himself, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody that you would think to yourself, like, would be a happy person, got all the answers. He somehow couldn't get to that point where he said, it's okay that I'm not 100% satisfied. You know what I mean? And I mean, he might have been depressed too. I ain't trying to hate on him, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's chemical imbalances that go on.
No, but I mean, that is crazy.
That's a
Somebody
problem.
who exuded happiness and like made everyone laugh and got accolades because of it on multiple levels. That guy couldn't even, like, he'd had nothing. He didn't have to care about like money, what he was going to do to like live or eat or any of that shit. Like, He had none of those. Those things where, for most people like you and me, like we've gone through times where that was everything.
Right.
That's the
It's
only
like,
thing that we can think
right.
of.
If I just got food on my plate and gas in my car and money in my pocket, like I could be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like he had all those things and still didn't hit that point because now we have those things and we see the same thing. It's like, damn, like now we got to build towards something else. We got to challenge ourselves. We got to keep doing more things. Like, because the second that you stop, you start really nitpicking at everything, and then everything is a problem now. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like you're yelling
also, like
people in the street.
As you get older, I think the sense of urgency, just in terms of like getting that satisfaction of completing anything. You know, like when we finish a draft on the script, or we do one of these, or we, you know, when we finished a video back in the day, like there was always that, like, it wasn't long for me where, you know, we got to be like, hell yeah, like we thought of this, wrote it, shot it,
Right.
edited it, put it out in like a week. And that's crazy for us, you know, we did it, whatever. But then like immediately, like 5 minutes after we said that, we were like, what's the next thing? So
You know what that really is, dude?
It's so many, you see that all through life, bro. And like I had cancer and I didn't know if I was gonna survive. And there were times when I was in the hospital or even like just sitting at home sick, where I was like, dude, if I could just be alive and not worry about like living or, you know, just getting through this, I'm not going to ever care about anything ever again. And the shitty, like the awesome thing is I got through it and I'm doing great and I keep pushing myself. But the weird thing is like, even through that, even through something like that, where, you know, it is what it is. Like people go through that every day and like people have worse and better experiences than I had, but it's never enough, dude. You just always want, there's going to be something, whether it's like business or like you said, like something new you want to try, like for Jordan, golf, where it's like, I want to be good at this, but I'm not good at this, or this wasn't what I wanted it to be. Like, there's going to be a situation like that. No matter
Well,
what.
you know what it is, dude?
I just moved. And it's like, I just moved into a huge place in LA, a space where I never even thought I would ever be able to be at this level. And I'm here. And now I'm like, can't wait to get to, you know, like I did it. I'm not stressing, but it's like, I can even feel that now where it's like, what's the next, like, how do I make this better now? It's always that. You should always at least have that. I think everybody does.
Well, I was about to say, I think it's the internal battle. Like I was talking about the ego, and then the flip side of that is that inside of all of us, bro, like regardless of if you believe in a god or whatever, like there's like a creative force in every human that is godlike. You know what I'm saying? Because like you can take something that doesn't exist and make it. Like that's a godlike activity. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're the biggest, brightest person or the stupidest person, like a stupid person can put two sticks together, bang it, and make an instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how tools came to be as we have now. You know what I'm saying? But then like there's somebody that can smash atoms together. You know what I mean? But like then, like I said, even in that person that's a physicist and wants to smash atoms, somewhere in his mind, he's sitting there saying, damn, bro, you probably shouldn't do that shit because if it don't work, man, they all gonna laugh at you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're constantly battling that no matter who you are, bro. You know what I mean? And, like, I feel like, especially now in the pandemic era that we live in, you can't be listening to that fearful ego shit no more because it's people dying every day, dog. Like, regardless if people want to say that shit is real or not, like, these numbers are increasing. You know what I'm saying? It's always been like that, really. If you really want to look at how the world is, people, you can get shot in 2 seconds, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, being an innocent bystander or whatever.
Life, dude. That's the lesson I got is from cancer is that
right.
No matter what, even if it does, like now I got over it. I'm not constantly afraid I'm gonna get sick, but I'm gonna live like this shit could all end tomorrow because I've been there where I had a great job. I thought everything was, you know, I checked all these boxes and I was like, this is great. My life's good. I'm gonna keep this trajectory, everything's on a path, like this is the path. And then boom, it was like, you know, you couldn't get it back. You had to keep going, but there was no plan. So it's possible, but I mean, it's scary, dude, but I think that you're right. I think right now, I mean, I wish the election wasn't looming, but I think that's just like good advice in life. And I think now more than ever, to get through like the pandemic for people that are isolated and don't you know, even for me, like even knowing like what I liked, like no, like you said, like knowing who you are and like kind of being cool with that, that's like the ultimate thing. I think beyond like getting
It's
any
the
sort
goal
of,
of life.
that is what life is. It's like, because for me, honestly, up until real recently, dude, I felt like a piece of shit every day. Like people, I could make people laugh and I could be happy and like, you know, you knew me. Like I don't think you thought every day I was waking up like, dude, you fucking suck. But that's how I felt for a lot of my life, just because you, whatever the things that you're using for goals or like achievements or your opinions of yourself that were given to you by like your friends or through other, you know, experiences and shit, that shit can get to like fuck your head up and then you can't get out
Hell
of it.
yeah.
And it's
Hell yeah.
like,
I mean, what you're saying, I went through the same thing, dog, where I would be like, man, this ain't really where I'm trying to be right now. Like, I need to be doing more. And like, part of it was probably, yeah, I did need to be doing more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm capable of more. Like, that's what I think is the real thing. Like, on that episode of whatchamacallit, Lovecraft Country, when the girl goes to space and she says that, she's like, I hate white people because I let them make me think I was less than. But then she said, I hate me because I let them do that to me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what, like, you're saying, like, it's the culmination of things your parents told you, things you heard at church, your friends, like, on the news that you learned, you know what I'm saying? Like, faults and mistakes you made, like, all those things make you feel like, damn, yo, like, I'm not where I should be or whatever. But then deep inside, you know, you're capable of doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really wanted to be a physicist right now, dude, or be an astronaut, you could do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, it ain't nothing that can stop you. You smart. You can read, right? Eventually you can understand any concept. So what's to stop you from wanting to do that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I think people really don't see is this whole thing. Like, even with this election ties into that. Like, I really think people need to realize it don't matter who wins. Like, you need to be looking at yourself and being like, what's going to make me get to where I want to be so this doesn't matter to me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't think any of it matters, bro.
well,
Like I told you.
I don't think that, like, for me, whatever happens in a few days or in a week, it's the same thing I always say. No matter who I voted for, whether they won or lost, my life has never been affected by a presidential election. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on.
Same here. That's what I said.
Anybody who's voting, you got to realize that no matter who wins, like, even if Donald Trump wins, you know, I swear, I hope to God that he's not like, I'm going to burn this whole motherfucker to the ground, because that's not what's going to happen. It's not possible. And like, we've done it. We're telling people to do it. It's just, life's going to go on. You know, you got to keep pushing for yourself, because Joe Biden ain't going to win an election and give you some magic ticket to a successful, happy life.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Even if he had that promise, he's only in for 4 years. So doesn't have any ability to really do anything that's going to affect you. So I think we're doing what, you know, this might not seem productive to a lot of people, but like just doing this and like flexing some sort of creative muscle and actually like putting on, like, I don't give a fuck if you like my opinion. It's my opinion, but it's like, you could tell through listening to this shit that we're good people. I wish that there would be more of that kind of shit where it's like, okay, you got some weird opinion. Like, as long as you're not some, like, one of these psychos that's out here just like, you know, Karening it up and like actively being super aggressive about whatever their opinion is and trying to like confront you if you don't agree with it. It just seems like that's what's scary about now, where usually I'd be like, who gives a fuck? But now it seems like all the people attached to whoever, like either group. Like, I don't like that I'm attached to anybody. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but it's just like, why are you motherfuckers so up in arms about this when you're all broke? I don't give a fuck unless you're the guy on the lawn with the gun in front of the mansion that with his wife and shit. Those are the people that Trump and all the politicians are really speaking to. Those people, because they have money.
Even those people, dude. You see, they're out on the lawn needing to flex their gun muscle because they aren't secure enough to sit in their house and be like, oh, those people, you know, they don't know no better. You know what I mean? Because, like,
you're
that's
right. Even to that
mean?
level. And you and I might never reach that level. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get why everyone thinks that they need to put put some passion into the social issues and put some passion into changing society, but don't even like physically put yourself out there to where you're like trying to intimidate people and be like, you know, it just seems so crazy that we've gotten to this point where this has already happened. Like all these things that we're seeing have happened in one way or the other in the past in our country and other countries, and it never works out in a good way. So why not like pull it back a little bit and do what I would think the internet should have gotten us to, which is just like being able to get like some sort of group thinking where it's like clear, it's not based on any kind of weird like fucking dumb opinion that you have. Like, I don't know how to like word this, but I just thought the internet would bring about more of an awareness of like this collective experience that we're going through, and not this we all got to divide like who's in this camp. Okay,
well I think what it is
for you, it's like it's so stupid.
I think what it is that like a lot of what you're talking about is that people put a lot of their self-worth in outward shit, you know what I'm saying? So like I think like they feel like even with this election, it's like I believe in everything that Biden's saying, and I want the world to be like how it should be under a real president. So the only way I'll be okay is if this works out like this. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you're only okay if you're okay with who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like I said, like people bringing guns out on the lawn and pointing them at people and shit. It's like if you're a happy, successful person, you would never fight a bum in the street. You know what I'm saying? So like, why are you going out here? You're not going to shoot anybody. First off, like.
That's what I always said when I looked at it. I was like, those people, the fact that somebody, because to me, as somebody who just has a knowledge of guns in general, the act of pointing a gun at me puts me into a blind rage. And that, like somebody like that, where it's clear that you're not going to light somebody up on the lawn with all these people around. Somebody should have ripped that gun out and just whooped that dude's ass, because that's what should happen in a real like situation. Like it's crazy that that's even, I don't know. Like to me, my dad just point, like if you're educated on guns, when I was educated on guns, my dad, it was just like if you point this at anything other than what it's supposed to be pointed at, you have created a critical and catastrophic error that's it was just like implanted in me, and it like
same with me. I mean, like I've gone through, like my dad showed me how to shoot guns and all that same thing, man. Like you never point that shit at somebody unless you're trying to actually shoot them, you know what I'm saying? And
I mean, exactly.
That's, you know what I mean?
Like it wasn't even instructed to me like that. It was just like, if you point this at somebody and you're like, this isn't a joke. Like, basically like that kind of thing.
It's not a toy. It's not a game.
Like you should know where this, like what is going on with this at all times. Like, I think that's why it's so confused, like all this gun shit too. It's like if an educated gun expert, I'm not scared of that guy. I am scared of people like that would just brandish them out of some like weird.
Well, you know what they call guns in hip hop now? They call it the dick. Like people are your stick. Like they literally have put their self-identity into an item, an outward thing. That's what we're talking about, bro. Like you call your gun your dick. You know what I'm saying? So like I've heard rappers say that, dude. So just even having that mentality, and like this is America where you can get a gun off the streets easily, you know what I'm saying? So like that right there just shows you how crazy this world is. Like that's what I'm saying, dog. Like you're not working on yourself. You're putting your self-worth in the outward thing. A big truck, a gun, your money in the bank, you know what I'm saying? Like where it should really be, like I said, what type of person are you? Are you challenging yourself in new endeavors? Do you turn the TV off sometime and just think about shit? You know what I'm saying? Because like that's why a lot of people don't have their own opinions, bro. Like I sit in the dark sometime and just be like, what comes to my mind? Let me see. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really how I think like the world in the past, I mean, was able to like build pyramids and shit and like cross oceans, was that somebody sat in the dark and like those things all like came into their brain. You know what I'm saying? Because like I think that in the past we had more time as a people to like do that. You know what I'm saying? Or like when you would look at the night sky and the stars and just see endless stars in the sky, like you realize every one of those stars is a fucking sun. You know what I'm saying? Like it just showed you like the limitlessness of the possibilities. Now we literally look at things through a Disney microscope, dude, where it's like, well, I don't got the big house and the Prince Charming or whatever. So shit, I must not be the star of this movie. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody wants to be the star in this show, and it's like that's not how this shit really works. Like you're the star in your show because you created the show. You know what I'm saying? Like around you. You know what I mean? It needs to be that the things you want to happen, you go out and make happen. You know what I'm saying? Or even have your mind open to them. You know what I'm saying? But like it ain't gonna happen when you're sitting in your little sheltered world. Like that's what I think is going on. Like I said, man, I've been having some crazy spiritual shit going on with me this week. So
well, and also like when you're like locked up like that, not doing shit, and you're not like actively like working towards a goal, like a personal goal. Like for me, like when I would just like when we would have days, or like I would have personal days where I would even like call off work or something and have a free day. I wouldn't fill it with anything more than like working out. And like to me at the time, I'd rationalize that like, yeah, but some people can't even work out, and I'm doing that. So guess I can have a free day of like, I don't have to do any writing, or I don't have to maybe put some ideas down for like a new movie script or a new sketch or something. Like, and when you're like that, like to me it made me more angry, so I could see like I think that's where some of this like froth and like this bullshit, like this aggression is coming from. Like there's a lot of people at home right now that don't know, like you said, don't know who they are, so they don't know what's ultimately going to make them happy, so they've put their anger and I guess happiness into like Trump or Biden or whatever, and that's their world. So like for us, we got this shit, we have our own personal things, whatever it is, and we have stuff to focus on and are actively like not putting, like it's going to happen however it's happened. I voted, so it is what it is. I'm scared about some stuff, but I know I'm going to be okay, and I'm just going to keep pushing on my personal goals and my family goals. And
yeah, man. I would tell you, don't listen to that scaredness, fear, or whatever, bro. Because it's the same thing like when you were talking about moving. You know what I'm saying? Like you were all up in arms about how this is going to work, how that's going to work. Like what you got to realize is, like I said, man, like we're timeless like the fucking sun, dude. Like I truly believe like in the soul. So I don't think nobody ever really dies. And I ain't trying to say like we have forever on this earth, because I think you do, you die and I think you become something else, you know what I'm saying? But even in that, like, to me, that's why I would never fear death, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's not really the end of the journey, in the sense of like, oh, they're going to drop a bomb on my house. It's like, all right, then I'm just going to be blown up. You know what I'm saying? And like, as I know this existence, it will be gone and like whatever. But I know that I've been a good enough person where hopefully something I said to someone else, my words have rung to them, and then that could carry on. If that's how I live on in the future, that's how I live on. You know what I'm saying? Like the memory of me, you know what I mean? Like, and I ain't trying to get all dark or nothing, but like, I'm just saying, like, that's why I would tell you to never be worried about it. And that's why I think like all this shit that's going on with the politics and everything is to incite fear, because they know when you're fearful, you are easily controlled. When you have fear in you, you're easily controllable. And I think that's what they want to go on. But if I said, what can you offer someone who doesn't fear anything or doesn't need anything? You know what I'm saying? Like as a politician, oh, well, I'll clean up the water. It's like, man, I drink the water from the sky, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you're just you have every need provided for, what can somebody come to you and offer you? Nothing. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I think really is the goal for anyone in this world, bro, especially for like people like you and me. We need to get to that point where I'm not trying to be like so self-centered or whatever, but it needs to get to that point where it's like you're so solid in yourself that you can reach out and help other people. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the biggest thing, most fearful thing even, you know what I'm saying? It's like trying to help someone you don't know, or even someone you do know, it's a tough thing, man. It's a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we tried to do it. We had experiences where it didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? Because like you can only help people that want to be helped. You know what I'm saying? Like that's part of it too. So it's just like but I think that's why the world is falling off, dude. Because we're so incomplete to the point where like we're all, worried why we don't have everything we want or desire, and because we don't have that, we can't help no one else get nowhere. And then like the only way we're ever going to get anywhere is help, bro. Like nobody got anywhere by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Well, like ain't nobody build Rome by themselves.
And also just to like piggyback on that thing you were saying about like solid in yourself, one thing I've noticed is that we were talking about like not liking yourself or not thinking you're good enough or whatever. And I definitely feel like I'm like, I know I have like criticisms of myself, but it's not like as strong anymore. So I definitely would say I like myself, even maybe not totally, but a lot more than I used to. And when you do have that confidence of like, how can I like word this like in a really concise way? Like when you, it's like, I know I'm a good person. You know what I'm saying? I've done things now. Like I feel like I got a clean slate and I'm working off of that. And everything I've done since I've gotten better is to better for myself and my like family and stuff and the people that I love. And now that I have like the confidence of being like, not only am I a good person, but like in my job, I'm doing everything I can to be a good employee to this company. So recently, I had to get a negotiation for pay because it just was what it was. So in the past, you know, maybe I didn't feel like I was a good, like just a good person in general. So when you walk into something where you're like trying to sell yourself and you don't have that confidence, that's a tough fucking thing. You don't go into it well, and it usually doesn't end well.
Nobody
like,
gonna buy nothing if you don't believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wouldn't buy the product yourself, why? Yeah, exactly.
And it's hard to get it out, but like I went through this thing recently, but I did things this time to not only that, you know, I was already, I feel like in a good position to negotiate anyway, but I took steps to like prepare and do things that maybe in the past I wouldn't have done as much of, but I've seen it work leading up to it, and it worked. And I think that part of that was just like me being like, I know I'm a good person. They had, you know, having that leverage of being like, I've done everything I can. I'm a good person. I'm honest. I'm open, and I'm just gonna like present this, whatever this is. And like in that way, I think that, you know, getting that, like, it's never gonna be a total win for that. You're never gonna like. Maybe you will, but like I think most normal people, there's always going to be something you don't like about yourself, whatever it is. I got plenty of like gripes, but when you get to that point where you actually just like accept like I'm a good guy or I like me, and you're comfortable with that, that sets you now on a path where you can sort of like set aside some things because you recognize truly that they are bullshit because you have a clear focus on life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Like, I think what you're talking about, like, that never reaching that point or always having that feeling or whatever of being, like, uptight about it is because it's like growing baby teeth or something, bro. Like, that shit hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not fun to grow, dude. Like, that's what people don't really understand, bro. Because, like, in order to grow in any endeavor, you have to do things you've never done before. Anytime you do something you've never done, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be that you just pick something up right away and now you're the greatest painter on earth. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how you become an artist. You know what I mean? Like, or a businessman or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but your first business deal probably going to go south.
What's beautiful about life is once you've done something truly from like beginning to end, like for me, what really opened my eyes was losing a shitload of weight. Like once you see that, you like, I pushed myself to do something I didn't think I could do, and I did it. Well, that applies universally. Like it might not be the same steps for losing weight, but it's like once you see like, oh, really what it always amounts to is preparation, putting time in, and just putting the fear of failure away. And usually, like to me,
perseverance.
Like those things all in, like if you do that, it's going to work across the board. It might take time and you're going to fail, but like the failure now, it's not like I used to just like when you hate yourself and you fail, you punish yourself so much more than like now. It's like what a good quarterback in the NFL should do. You throw an interception, you go to the sideline, you maybe be like, God damn it. But then you go out and you try again and you're going to get it back. Like, and you're going to get to that next success. So I don't know, man. I think that you're right. Like beyond, you know, I know we started off on like a political thing, but I think it's important to know, like for everybody that's so tied into this politics shit right now, it is going to end soon, no matter what the outcome is. And what we've been saying about like, I guess really just like mental health and self I guess I don't want to say self-love because it sounds like we're talking about beating off, but like just like appreciation of oneself. Like I think those things ultimately are like no matter who you are, you got to really focus on that now because this pandemic is not going to end soon. We're all going to have to continue to focus on like the mental health aspect of it because that's going to be huge, and the physical health. Whatever you can do to exercise, in my opinion, like we've been going on jogs. I work out like 5 times a week, and I know that's not possible for everybody, but doing something to like get yourself to a physical level where you're just at least in good shape and maybe eating a little bit better might make all the difference if you do get this shit or if you get sick at all. Like it might make all the difference in the world.
I don't want to delve too deep into this because we're about to end this, but with that physical health thing, dude, and you're talking about eating and changing and stuff, people need to realize, like I said, we are under attack, dude. Like this whole, like I said, pandemic shit, this whole political shit, it's a war for your mind, dog. They literally like want to know what you're thinking so they can sell you more shit, and the shit they want to sell you is not good for you, dude. So like, you ever watch a commercial like a Burger King commercial or the Popeyes chicken sandwich shit, and then you'd be like, man, I ain't about to get that shit, you know what I'm saying? But then one day, you know, you just out by Popeyes, like, oh, it ain't no line. Oh, man, let me see what that chicken sandwich talking about. Like that shit, they got into your mind. Like that's what I mean. Like it's a battle for your thoughts, dog. So like one of the ways to clear your thoughts is to eat right, is to work out. Like it's not just about looking sexy, you know what I'm saying? Like and having muscles, like literally like it benefits your brain functionality, dude. Like I saw the picture of you when you were overweight, dude. You showed me your license. Like you literally look less intelligent, which is crazy because I know you're a smart dude, you know what I'm saying? And like one of my best friends, one of the smartest people I know. But like I remember you showed me a picture of you when you were overweight, and I was like, damn, you look kind of like you're dumb in this
picture. You look
picture.
like an oaf. Like you
like,
just
it's
look
weird.
I mean, it is what it is, dude. I would never like fat shame somebody, but it like to me, just overall, like I know there's people that can't like have some sort of glandular. To the people who can't control it, and you just have this like curse of being obese, I don't like. I would think exercise would benefit you just to like help you to sustain. But like, if you become fat, like I was not a fat kid forever. Like when I was young, I was put on a path to be fat. I never get any education about what to eat. I just observed my big family eating, and no restrictions were ever put on me. So for like 18 years, it was a fucking free-for-all. There was no, hey, stop. Like maybe if I ate a shit ton of candy at my grandma's house, my parents would be like, hey, you got to stop. But like, there was no fucking restrictions. I could have been eating 10,000 calories a day, but like, you don't feel good, and you don't feel good for like mentally or physically. And for me, it looked like I was dumber. And to be honest, I probably was, dude, because for me, it was a whole effort based. I knew I was athletic. I could play basketball.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I think that it's partly too like when you do get in that like shape like that, like you have like a can't mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like you could look at somebody, like you said, like there are fat people that are athletic, and like Chris Farley was an active dude, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. But like, I think that those people that are like, it hurts them to work out. It's like, man, my knees be hurting, man, so I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But because you said
too, dude.
Well, what I'm about to say is because you said you can't do that, now you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing but watch TV. You can't read this book. You can't learn this. You can't do that because then you get in that can't mindset, and it does. I feel like it puts like the blinders on you to where I feel like you are a little bit stupider. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
I mean, you are, dude.
I mean, I'm not trying to hate on fat people neither, but like
more like it's like an ignorance because like I'll tell you, dude. Like I remember this clearly. There was like a night in college at one point where I was like into this chick, but I got friend zoned. But it was like the millionth time that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like I was that guy. I was a funny dude. I was like charming, but you know, no chick wants to be with some fat dude, especially a guy like me who was like way above 300, dude, like a fat dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just got to me, and I remember like being in my room, like smoking a cigarette, fat as fuck, like almost on the verge of tears, like I'm never going to be thin. Like, I can't do this. So I might as well just accept, like, this is what it is. Like, but then to have like I'm saying, what I was saying before, having the foresight of like seeing that process from that, like from literally being like, I can't even do anything to reverse this. I'm not going to exercise. Fuck that. Smoking cigarettes, eating McDonald's. Like, that's all I did all day. Anything I could do to not. My job was to sit on my ass in the booth. Like, there was no motion in my life. Like, I would drive to work and sit. I would drive to a restaurant, get drive-through, go home, sit, eat, lay down, smoke weed, smoke cigarettes. You know, it was just like I was on a path to kill myself in some way. Whether or not I would have gotten cancer, no matter, like, if I never would have gotten fat, I can't tell you. And I can't even tell you if doing that gave me leukemia. I'll never know that, but I didn't feel good about myself. But I learned through that if you think something impossible is impossible truly, like I did, and you do it, then there's
nothing can stop you.
You know what I'm saying? After I did that, then I was like, well, now I like definitely can go after making movies. This has to be, at least I'll like try it or educate. That's what like led me to like trying film school or like moving to LA. I never would have done that if I was fat.
It sounded like it was somebody outside my window. It's like, now I'm on the second floor. Yeah, but
no,
yeah, man.
Let's cut it. We've had some good positive shit, but I mean, I am interested to like. This is definitely going to be an interesting week. Not for football for you, but
well, that's why I've been on a religious journey this week, because I realized it was like I gotta just have this come to Damascus moment where,
hey man, I get it, dude. I mean, it's definitely not a good time for you in that respect. But I mean, it was good talking to you about this, and I think, like, honestly, I wish there'd be more discussions like this where, even if you like Trump and shit, as long as we could talk like this and then just like have an open discussion about stuff, like. I don't hate anybody because of who they vote for. It's just like how you act as a person. So I wish we could just like get back to that as a country a little bit. And I'll definitely be interested to see like what we talk about next episode based off of what happens on this. You know what I'm saying? We've had this discussion. Let's see the aftermath after the election and see where our thoughts are.
Well, I'll tell you what's kind of scary, man, is that if he loses, he's still going to be the president. You know what I'm saying? Until January. Until January, he's still the president. So, you know what I mean? Like, we might see a whole nother chapter in this book that we just want nobody expecting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now we can have, like, the chronicles, the election chronicles. We got the precursor episode here. We can just week by week keep touching base on this. Because I do agree, like, we're going to end this podcast here, but it's going to be wild, dude. Regardless, this shit's about to get crazy wild. I'm a little bit leery of saying I'm excited to see what happens, but I'm definitely like completely as like just like an observer of the human experience, so fascinated by what the possibilities are right now.
I mean, dude, we're living in one of the most craziest times in history right now, bro. Like, just in the general thesis of, I mean, the entire history of the planet, like, when has there been a moment where there's been a global pandemic, an election, fucking, what was it, like a FBI investigation, a porn star on somebody's ass? Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, the dude is like a James Bond novel, bro. Like, I hate Trump, but at the same time, like, I'd love to watch him crash and burn just because it's funny, man. Like,
I'll read the book he publishes, that's some point of post-mortem of this part of his life. Like, he'll probably be dead, but like somebody's gonna write about this with like notes from him, and I just want to know like his thought, like, oh, I was coming off great, you know, like how grandiose of an opinion he has of himself in private.
You know what's weird about him, dude? If you see old videos of him, like back when his dad was alive, he was like really soft-spoken and kind of like even shy a little bit, and now he's just like is what he is now, and it's just like.
See what happens.
The Grinch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the weirdest thing you ever seen, bro. So, hey, man. We'll wait till next week. Exactly.
Well, it's been good talking to you, bro. But thanks for listening, everybody. This has been episode 29. So just keep listening. Hit us up. Email us. You know, ladies, text Aaron, World Tour, white bitches, you know.
Oh, hey, y'all, I got my Tinder getting hot, man. I took a picture with my drawers and the mushroom, got the mushroom stick left out. Stop lying.
I think I know what we're going to be talking about in a few weeks, man. Some spicy Tinder stories. I like
Oh, God. I don't know if we need any more of those. Yours fucking scared the people.
Well, I'll share one of my nightmares, and you can share one of your nightmares. It'll be like a quid pro quo type situation. It's fine. We got plenty of material to work off of. That's not current, but you know, it's still accurate.
Hell yeah. Well, all right, man. Till next time, yo.
All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later, Aaron. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.